This is how a Russian aircraft-type attack drone hit the Ukrainian armed forces position in Chasiv Yar. Aircraft-type drones with powerful ammunition carry out impressive attacks on designated targets. When the 32nd Unit of the Ukrainian armed forces realized they were being monitored by Russian air surveillance, they ran en masse to the bunker. But Russian attack drones did not hold back and destroyed the bunker. The Ukrainian armed forces were evacuating when, unexpectedly, a Russian shell landed nearby. The wounded soldiers ran away from the scene.
Don't forget to leave your opinion about the video in the comments, subscribe and like.
UAV operators of the 43rd Independent Special Forces Company of the Vostok Group and the 36th Independent Guards Motorized Rifle Brigade struck a Ukrainian armed forces ruined house in the settlement of Bogatyr. The house was destroyed. The condition of the infantrymen is currently unknown. A Russian fighter fought an FPV drone of the Ukrainian armed forces at extremely close range. The Russian fighter realized he was being followed by the drone. He quickly got out of the vehicle and tried to shoot down the drone with his rifle. Shooting down an extremely fast-moving drone is not an easy task. Don't forget to join our Telegram group. In a small section of the front line near the border village in the Sumy region, near the Russian border, a Russian FPV drone hit the four-wheeled ATV vehicle of the Ukrainian armed forces hard. In the direction of Pokrovsk, Russian tanks opened fire on the positions of the Ukrainian armed forces one by one. Reconnaissance drones monitor the tank fire moment by moment, trying to direct the tanks in the right direction to hit the targets. As a result of the harmonious work of tank and drone units, the positions of the Ukrainian armed forces were destroyed. The movement of Ukrainian armed forces infantry was detected in the immediate vicinity of the village of Gornal. These infantrymen, who were in temporary deployment points, were subjected to both artillery shelling and drone strikes. This group of Ukrainian infantrymen had to constantly relocate under intense attack. They were wounded, and several infantrymen were killed in each attack. Security in this village was restored, and the Russian flag was raised. Russian forces also destroyed armored vehicles and other ATVs that came to the rescue of the infantry in Gornal, preventing Ukrainian forces from attempting to attack in this direction. A fighter threw a grenade, but it bounced off a tree. The fighter coolly grabbed the grenade from the air and threw it away, saving his life. The infantry of the Ukrainian armed forces are camouflaging something, but I don't understand what it is. What do you think they are camouflaging? Could it be a machine gun? A Russian FPV drone is approaching and destroying what the infantry is camouflaging. Image's airborne troops had earlier attacked Belovedy, and now they are clearing the last, southern part of the settlement in Sumy region. They are hitting bunkers and temporary deployment positions of the Ukrainian armed forces. Transparent footage of a daily routine of Russian FPV drone operators. Leave your thoughts on the impact of drones on modern warfare in the comments. The Ukrainian armed forces were conducting an offensive in the border area. It was sending infantry to Popovka and Demidovka. However, they suffered many casualties on the ground in these settlements. Russian drone operators and other troops are repelling all attempts of the Ukrainian armed forces to attack. Russian forces repelled the Ukrainian attack attempt on Mariino. Russian attack drone destroys an abandoned armored personnel carrier in one shot. Then Russian FPV attack drones destroy a Baba Yaga drone of the Ukrainian armed forces in mid-air. In addition, Russian drones shoot down enemy drones from the air using fishing line or something similar to fishing line. The fights in the air and on the ground continue. Anti-tank mines laid on the road are detonated thanks to the bomb dropped by the drone. On the same day, in the same direction, Russian FPV drones destroyed a large number of bunkers and trenches of Ukrainian troops. Near Pokrovsk, a bunker with infantrymen of the armed forces of Ukraine was found. the fiber optic drone quickly took off and broke the door of the bunker. The infantry then exited the bunker and set off to relocate. But the Russian infantry were following them. While in the open, the Russian infantry opened fire on the Ukrainian infantry, hitting 2 of the 4 Ukrainian soldiers. The other 2 survivors ran away and hid in a wooded area. While they were in the trees, Russian artillery opened fire, but the artillery could not hit them accurately. Ukrainian trenches and bunkers were heavily shelled by Russian artillery. Several Ukrainian infantrymen were trapped by the collapse of the earth. A Ukrainian soldier saved the lives of his friends by digging the earth with his hands to save them. The fighting on the front continues in full intensity. We are working hard all day to prepare unique images for you. Don't forget to support us.
Все нормально, живий. Можеш рухатись?
Придавило ще одну руку.
Пацани, розкапуйте зі свого боку.
Давайте быстрее, блядь, відкапуй! Або дай я, якщо не можеш. Виходь!
Серега, все нормально, зараз витащимо.
Та не спіши. Я все нормально чувствую. Вроді би.
Братан, давай! Руку шевелиться! Давай, братан! Руку тяни! Скажи, хай поможе!
Пошов!
Все, вперед, туди пішли, блядь!
Серега, ты как? Отлично. Нормально?
An unstoppable Russian fighter crosses the field in the direction of Pokrovsk under artillery fire and FPV drone attacks by the Ukrainian armed forces. Don't forget to join our Telegram group. The 255th Regiment again spotted the infantry of the Ukrainian armed forces. Soon the coordinates were transmitted to the artillery unit. As a result of precise adjustments by the Russian artillery, the target was destroyed. Russian troops are advancing in the direction of Mirnohrad. Russian combat groups enter a populated area near Pokrovsk and capture Ukrainian armed forces soldiers trying to hold the defense. Objective control of FAB 1,500 strikes on targets of the armed forces of Ukraine in the Kherson region from the UMPK. Archival footage of the fighting in Krinky from the Ulyanovsk division of the Special Airborne Troops. The clearing of basements, downed enemy drones, and the absolute composure and calmness of the paratroopers as they go about their work.
Давай, пошел. Своя! Пошел, смотри.
Возможно, 200 лежит вон там за стеной. 2-3 типа вон там за...
По противнику сейчас CTV пойдет. Мне кажется, там есть.
Вылазит на дорогу! С дороги работает, возможно, отходит. Металл, давай.
Я смотрю, ты вон туда тоже смотри, смотри.
О, попал четко. Одна есть.
UAV operators of the 140th Guards, Anti-Aircraft Missile Brigade, and the 43rd Independent Special Forces Company of the Vostok Group destroyed an Air Force bunker in the Bogatyr settlement. Russian sniper destroys PTM-3 mines of the Ukrainian armed forces with accurate mine shots. It is a plastic-cased, pressurized anti-tank mine. Aircraft-type attack UAVs of the 14th Independent Guard Special Forces Brigade of the Vostok Group destroyed Ukrainian armed forces bunkers in the village of Otradnoye. Russian artillery is relentlessly shelling the bunkers and positions of the Ukrainian armed forces. Russian troops are calling on the enemies in the bunkers to surrender. If they don't answer the call or open fire, there is no turning back. 2 Russian soldiers threw grenades into the bunker and opened fire with rifles. Eventually, they entered the bunker and secured it.